What's going on, Eagles? Register to vote through your social science or health class so that you can vote in the PGHS mock election. The school-wide election will take place in the room HL11 on October 6th before school, during both lunches and after school. Please come vote. You'll be learning about who is running and what propositions will be on the ballot in your social science and health classes. Start the good habit of being an active citizen now and exercise your right to vote. After the election, we will see how our votes compare to the votes of high schoolers around the state of California. Register now, vote on the 6th.
Academic award signups are at lunch Tuesday, October 4th through Thursday, October 6th. Any 10th through 12th grader students who earned a 3.67 or higher GPA last spring are eligible but must sign up at the lunch table in the MP room.
Unity Day signups also begin on October 6th at lunch. Also, if you signed up for the blood drive, it is taking place on the basketball courts on Friday, October 7th. Here's a brief video from Biomed on the importance of the blood drive.
My name is Lucas Foster. I am 16 years old and I'm a blood recipient and donor. I was sitting in my 5th period science class that day. I'd gotten the call to go into the office, told me to bring my stuff. I was like, okay, this probably isn't a good thing. And so I get down there and I see my mom there and she looks pretty scared. We get in the car and she tells me they found a tumor in your CT scan results. And immediately I was mortified because I was like, what does this mean? Like, am I gonna live through this? Like, how am I gonna keep going after this happens? Like, how am I gonna get through this whole situation?
He was diagnosed with stage 3 brain cancer. He had emergency surgery, 4 rounds of chemo, 5 weeks of radiation. Throughout that process, there were many occasions where he had to receive transfusions of blood and platelets. I don't think a lot of people think about where is this going once it leaves my arm.
So I went through chemo and radiation and I had to get constant blood checks for my platelets, my white blood cells and all that stuff. And so platelets were a problem for me pretty constantly. For some reason, my blood just didn't want to cooperate. And so I got transfusions pretty frequently. I never really realized how much blood and transfusion and stuff like that actually goes into the treatment of cancer. After I went through my treatment and got so much blood, I was like, okay, I have to find a way to be able to give back and do this so that I can pay it forward for all the people that did it for me as well. I'm glad that I'm able to help out whoever needs to receive my blood and that I'm able to do this to help save one or multiple people's lives if they needed it. Blood donation can do so much to help countless lives, whether it's a lot or a little that you donate. Like, kids and parents should definitely all try and get out and do it at some point in their life to see if they can change somebody's life and help them out.
For Lucas to be able to tell his story, that puts a face to something that most 16-year-old kids can't understand. But when it's the guy sitting next to them in class, it settles in a little bit more that someone like him needs this.
A lot of people don't realize how much cancer patients actually need blood to help them get through their treatment.
It takes an hour. An hour out of your day can save someone's life.
You don't have to be some kind of superhero to save a person's life.
Now we pay it forward.
It's a great experience to have too, to know that you might be helping somebody who's going through treatment or just needs the blood.
It's a very small thing that we can do to say thank you.
I would just like to tell the donors that donated the blood that I received, thank you so much. Their donations really helped me get through the whole thing with what I was going through.
It's not possible without another human being deciding that they're willing to help and willing to give.
Reminder, Friday is a minimum day, marking the end of the quarter. Remember to check your grades to make sure you're achieving your academic goals.
Next week, October 10 to 14th, is Hispanic Heritage Week. Celebrate Hispanic heritage and spreading cultural awareness. Here are your dress-up days.
In yearbook news, your senior portrait photos are due by October 29th.
Senior portraits will be taken at Prestige Portraits in Elk Grove. If you have not scheduled your portrait yet, please scan the QR code.
In sports news, softball is working out on Mondays and Wednesdays after school. They should meet on the softball field.
On Monday, the 26th, women's golf beat Consumnes Oaks. Alyssa Qualio and Abby Davey had the low scores for the Eagles. On Tuesday, the 27th, women's tennis beat Elk Grove 9-0, and women's volleyball hosted Davis. Varsity won 3-0, JV won 2-0, and Frosh lost 0-2. Last Wednesday, golf beat Elk Grove. Women's varsity cross country was 4th overall with junior Kaylee Munson earning 13th. Men's varsity finished 4th overall with John Funderburg earning 10th. Frosh and soft women's earned 4th overall with Addison Vicachet earning 9th place. Frosh soft women's were 5th overall. And finally, football played Franklin last Friday. Varsity lost, but JV won 14-7.
This week in athletics, Monday, October 3rd, women's golf is at Delta Center number 2, and women's tennis versus Franklin at 3:45.
Tuesday, October 4th, women's tennis hosts David at 3:45, and women's volleyball is at Franklin with games at 4:30, 5:30, and 6:30. On Wednesday, October 5th, women's golf hosts St. Francis at Rancho Murrieta Country Club at 3 p.m. Women's volleyball hosts Folsom with games at 4:30, 5:30, and 6:30.
On Thursday, October 6th, women's tennis hosts Sheldon at 3:45, and Frosh football competes against Cosumnes Oaks. Friday, JV and varsity football have games against Cosumnes Oaks with games at 5 and 7:15.
On Saturday, women's varsity volleyball is at Stockton. Remember to check athletics.pghs.net for more information about PG sports.
And, as always, send photos from sporting events, club meetings, or other activities to Mrs. French. We'd love to include these images in the weekly bulletin.
Remember that the weekly advocacy update is in your Synergy email. We'll link to these and other weekly announcements. Always remember, Eagles, be safe, be respectful, be responsible, and be your best.